Hello, people. It's your boy Tech Mayor again. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Official Tech Mayor, where I'll talk about IT stuff, Linux system administrations, DevOps, and cloud computing technology. In this series, I am going to be talking about some basic commands in Linux that every Linux user should know. You may be familiar with operating systems such as Windows XP, Windows 7, Windows 8, and Mac OS X. Linux is one such powerful operating system which is universal in applications and use today. An operating system is a soul and mind for computers and all modern computing devices. It is a software that manages all of the hardware resources associated with your desktop or laptop. In other words, the operating system manages the communication between your software and your hardware. When you hear about Linux, most people think of a complicated operating system that is only used by programmers. I thought the same way watching some movies on TV and see how the screen looks, but it's not as scary as it seems. When operating in Linux OS, it's best to use Shell, which is an interface that gives you access to the operating system service. Now let's look at the most important 15 commands in Linux that will help you navigate through Linux as a newbie. Linux commands are case sensitive, hence you need to be careful about what you're typing in. Before we start typing our commands, we need to open the Linux terminal first. My first command is going to be pwd. You use the pwd to find out the path or location of the current working directory you are in. The command will return an absolute path, which is basically a path of all the directories that start with the /. An example of absolute path is home/techmayor. Next is the ls command. The ls command used to view the contents of a directory. By default, the command will display the contents of your current working directory. For example, if you enter ls home, then your username, and then a directory, it shows you the content of the directory documents. There are variations you can use with the ls command. You can use ls-l, which will list all the files with detailed information like permissions, sizes, and owners. Sometimes you can also use ll. ls-r all the will list all the files in the subdirectories as well. ls-a would show hidden files, and ls-al show detailed information about the hidden file. After that is the cd command, which represents change directory, and it's used to navigate through Linux files and directories. It requires either the full path or the name of the directory, depending on the current working directory you're in. Let's say you're in home, username, home, and then your username, documents. You want to go to project, which is a subdirectory of documents. To do so, you just type the command cd and the subdirectory project, and it brings you the project. Another scenario is if you want to switch to a completely new directory. For example, um, to the movies directory. In this case, you would have to type cd followed by the directory's absolute path. Home, username, and the directory takes you to movies as it shows here. There are some shortcuts that can help you to navigate correctly. If you use CD with 2 dots, it moves you one directory up. And if you use CD, it takes you to your home folder. And if you use CD with an hyphen, right up into another directory. You use CD with an hyphen, it takes you to your previous directory, which is your home directory. On a side note, Linux shell is case sensitive. So you have to type the name of the directory exactly as it is. After that is the cat command, which is one of the most frequently used commands in Linux. It is used to list the content of a file and on the standard output. To run this command, you use cat followed by the file's name and its extension. For example, you can cat file.txt. Shows you what is inside the file, this is an example of the cat command. There's other ways to use cat command, which like cat, assign, and file name, which creates a new file. And then you can type whatever you want in the file. Then you control C to quit. This saves what you wrote, and you can ls-l to check. And it shows it right here. If you scroll up, you'll see you can't find it here. And now if you cat 2 different files, you use this symbol to create a new file with a new file name. You can combine the output of these 2 files to make inside this file. So before we do that, let's check out what's in the files first. Cat file 1, and it shows this is to demonstrate the cat command, and cat file 2. The cat command is very useful. If we cat file 1, file 2, hit the symbol, file 3, and then you cat file 3, shows you a combination of cat file 1 and file 2. Of file 1 and file 2. Like I said in one of my previous videos, you can use the touch command to create an empty file. Let's touch some files. Touch reports.txt and touch config.conf. After that is the copy command. You can use the copy command to copy files from the current directory to a different directory. For instance, you can use the command copy cartoon.mp4 and then the absolute path of the directory you want to copy it into. So let's copy it to movies. Wait for it to spawn and it's done. It will create a copy of the cartoon.mp4 into the movies. And now to see that, ls-l with the absolute path of the directory. And it shows you cartoon.mp4. It's highlighted with the different color. Next is the move command. Primary use of this move command is to move files, although it can rename files. The arguments in the move command are similar to this copy command. You need to type the move command, the file name, and the destinations directory. Let's move this file into documents. I'm using TechMayor because that's the username of my server. If you ls-l here, you won't be able to find file.txt here anymore. But if you ls-l with the absolute path of the file, the document you just, the directory you just moved it into, you'll find it there. And as you can see, it's there. To rename files, you can use the move in the name of your old file, the name of the file you want to rename, and give it a new name. File.doc. And if you ls-l, the name changed from report to .txt to file.doc. After that is the make directory command. I've talked about this command in one of my previous videos, but I'm going to repeat it here again. You can use the make directory command to create a new directory. So if you type mkdir sport, it creates a directory called sport. And there's also an extra command for make directory. If you want to make a new directory inside the directory, you can use the simple command make directory, a directory that's already been created, and the name of the directory you want to put in there. Oh, let's try football. So if you ls-l with the absolute path of sport directory, it shows you football. Now use the P option, which is parent option, to create a directory between two existing directories. So for example, make directory SP sports indoor volleyball. Again, if you ls-l with the absolute path, it shows indoor. And if you ls-l inside the indoor directory, find volleyball in. Next is the remove directory, which is as simple as it says. It's to remove directories. However, remove directory only allows you to delete empty directories. So let's quickly make a directory and remove it. Let's call it temporary. Let's actually check it first, and we can see it's there. And remove directory. ls-l, and it's not there anymore. The next command is the remove command, which is used to delete directories and the contents within them. If you only want to delete the directory, As an alternative to the remove directory, use the remove-r. Simply remove-r. You need to be really careful with this command and double check which directory you're in, because this command can delete everything and it has no undo to it. Now we are on to the grep command, which is one Linux command for everyday that's helpful for everyday use. It lets you search through text in a file. If you grep, then you can search for whatever words you want. That you think that's in a file. So grep documents and file name. And then it shows you, it brings up the information that's inside the file, and then it highlights the words you're searching for. Like right here, 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 and here. After that, you can also grep your username inside the etc password file. So grep etc password. First you grep your username, etc password. After, now, next command is the ed command, which is used to view the first lines of any text file. By default, it'll show the first 10 lines, but you can change the number to your liking. For example, if you only want to show the first 3 lines, you can type the command ed-n, then a number of lines you want to see, then the file's name. Fragile text. And then it shows you the first 3 lines that's in the file. Next is the tilt command, which is the opposite of head command. It tells you the last amount of lines you want to choose. So instead of ed, you change it to tail, -n, specify the number you want, and then the name of the file. Shows you the last 3 lines, which is line 38, 39, and 40. Now we're on to the history command. When you've been using Linux for a certain amount of time, you'll quickly notice that you can run hundreds of commands every day. As such, running the history command is particularly useful if you want to review the commands you entered before. So just spell history and enter. As you can see, it says I've done 72 commands. The longer I'm on the Linux server, the more it will grow. Next is the man command. The man command, which means manual, is used to find out the function of a certain Linux command. It will give you detailed information about a specific command. For example, if you type man ls, it'll show you the manual instructions of the ls command. And to exit, you press Q. It takes you out. Last but not least, the echo command. Command will help you the string passed as arguments. It's mostly used in scripting language. You can as well use it to move some data into a file. For example, if you want to add the word hello text, hello world into a file called greeting.txt, you will type echo hello world into greeting.txt. And then when you ls-l, it shows you the file greeting.txt. And when you cat greeting.txt, it shows you hello world. Now you can use the clear command to clean out the terminal, getting cluttered with too many past commands. it brings you a fresh screen. These basic Linux commands will help you as a user to execute tasks easily and effectively. You just need constant practice and you will get used to these commands and many more. It's fun working with these commands, so give it a try today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and share this video for more educative content about IT. See you in the next video. It's your boy Tech Mayor. Thank you.